How long do you keep an A-grade player on the inside of your business? And it's amazing, right? Like, you could have a phenomenal salesperson who literally stays with your business for 20 years. You could have an incredible property manager that stays with your business for 20 years as well. But what if you started to think that not all of your top tier talent is going to stay forever? Things are going to change in life. They're going to have babies, they've got job relocations, things move on in their family. They make the decision to leave the real estate industry for one reason or another, and maybe they just get out at the top. This is what you realize, is you got to get hungry again for building an incredible talent development squad. You see, in business today, there's never a reason that you can't be the best inside of your marketplace. And what you got to do is you got to start thinking about, what are you doing to grow the agents of the future? Maybe you're putting them inside of teams so they get more exposure to more people more often. And naturally, they're doing lots of open for inspections on a Saturdays, working inside of a team to go and build that database of the future. Or maybe you're starting to think about a really intensive 12-week program to take people from zero to hero in being phenomenal inside of property management. Now, let's think about all of the core activities to be a great property manager. It could be things like ingoings and outgoings and entries of a new tenant and exit of a tenant, and what you're doing to onboard a landlord and change over a landlord, the quality of routines, rent increases, renewals. You get the idea. And you start to say, okay, great, you know what? We're just going to train each one of those over the course of like a 12 to 15 week time frame. And that naturally we're going to take people from zero to hero, because it doesn't matter how phenomenal you think you are, you've got to be really good at that particular part of the transaction. Now, what we've seen in industry is that for some reason, a lot of the conferencing stuff has kind of gone over here, where we're talking a lot about compliance, we're talking a lot about what's happening in terms of the legislation changes, and we're talking a lot about potentially mental health type stuff, which is all fine, but we've forgotten the core of what it actually takes to become a phenomenal property manager. And it's exactly the same when we come to the sales environment, about knowing the importance about what's new to market, what's being sold, understanding pricing, conversations on what it takes to really sell vendor paid marketing inside of the actual listing presentation, the skill and the ability to be able to generate a lead when someone's actually in front of you. That's really what you got to go and do. And so now more than ever before, you got to start thinking about that talent development squad, about finding that next group of people that you're going to be training who are going to become phenomenal on the inside of your business. So whether or not it's sales, property management, operations, administration, you've got to start thinking that literally that talent starts now, and that you've got to spend the time, energy, and effort to really build up those particular skill sets. That's where ultimately we love the job scorecard, where we get you to think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key skills that would make this next person phenomenal inside of your business. Now think a little bit about it. If you're going to have me join your sales team, can I do an open home? Can I do an open home callback? Can I extract an offer from a buyer? Can I exchange a copy of a contract? Am I in a position that naturally I can use that market knowledge of a new listing to help to get a price reduction on an existing listing? They're all great skills to go and teach to what we're going to call micro skills. And if you can improve the micro skills of every person inside of your business, everything ultimately changes. Talent development squads sit inside of everything that happens in the sporting world. Whether or not you're into AFL or NRL, what's really clear is that those particular teams are always developing that next rung of talent. We're going to go on to be one of the next greats inside of the business. This is where you've got to start to think that ultimately your skill to be able to build new people is going to be the greatest throttle to growth of your business. Get great at talent development squads, because it's going to change everything in terms of your business momentum well into the future.